I'm an old fart now. Y'all want to see this rice cake I got from work? That's like intense. That's a rice cake, y'all. Hey, hi, hello. Going into the city. This is the fit. Got this like daddy shirt. Marc Jacobs Heaven. Finally pulling this out. I guess this is Goodbye. Sofia Coppola Uniqlo tee. 51% jeans. And bag of the day. Spotlight day. For this butter bag from one of my favorite brands. I didn't do an unboxing for this, but it's a leather bag. It's called the butter bag because it's shaped like a bar of butter. Bar of butter. It's gonna go like this, like that. So cute because it's a magnetic clasp on the inside. But like, what did I tell you? Tiny bag. Tiny bag, big book. But today we're doing a tiny book because I'm carrying a bunch today. We're doing Cherry Wagon by Joseph Matick. We'll probably finish this within the day. It's very, very tiny, so very excited. Today, perhaps go to a gallery, meeting a friend for coffee, going to another gallery, very sexy, very excited to show you, going to a pop-up to pick up a book, and yeah, just gonna call it a day after that because I'm pooped. Let me tell you, I'm pooped after yesterday. I worked my hoofies off and I'm pooped. Yeah. All right, let's go. Waiting for my friend. I have some time to kill. So we're reading This Is How You Lose a Time War by Gladstone and Amal El-Mohtar. It's fun. Very fun. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's fun. Okay. This is it's like a caramel cream iced coffee.
I used to
Hi, hello. It's your boy Nate. I read books because reading is sexy. And if you're not reading, you're not sexy. Get on with it. Pick up a book. Okay. I think I'll run through some quick book. Oh no, I don't want to run through quick book updates because these are actually quite precious. Well, okay, weekend debrief, real quick. Went to see a friend. We did coffee. We went to the new Moshfegh exhibit. That was really... Yes, went to the Moshfegh exhibit called City and that's not what it's called. View from My Window. Looked at his recent trip to Berlin and meshed with sexy men. Sexy men, what's not to like? I like Moshfegh. Moshfegh is cool. He's a photographer, lived in New York for a bit, and then moved back to his home base, Seoul, and has his hands in a few really cool places in Seoul for queer, sexy spaces. And he had his little monograph. I picked it up, the new monograph. I thought this was a little more gold. Oh, can I show you my collection? I'm pretty sure you saw the white book that I had in my bookshelf tour recently. And then I skipped out on the black book because I was just too broke. And then next came the blue book, which is fab. I love this one a lot. This one just really focuses on sexy men. And then the silver one came out, and this is where I feel like the trajectory of his work really changed and shifted, where it combines the aesthetic of the male body, but also cars, and metal, chrome. And yeah, as you can see here, it's a little shiny. I'm trying to find the cars though. Oh, I'm glad there's not that many cars, because like, I bought this book for a reason. Where is, okay, can you see all this? Am I showing this to you? Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that, gorgeous. Do you see that? The change there? Incredible. And there's a little glimmer to these bodies. I don't know if it's picking up very well, but yes. And then he came out with this new one that I picked up. Oh, and he signed it. He signed it, my first one. But this one combines moments, architectural moments from Berlin and a sexy man. I'm not doing a very good job of holding this up, but yes, it's fantastic. I have yet to fully, you know, submerge myself in this. Literally picked it up yesterday. He was there, signed it. It was great. Cute space at Arcade Seoul. If anything, not the best exhibition space, but works all right if you want to put on a small show. The whole layout is just really nice in that I would want it to be my like dream apartment, just like the way that natural lighting enters the space and the overall construction with skylights and leverage and just the way that it opens up. It's just gorgeous, wonderful space. After that, we grabbed lunch at Downtowner for burgers, good burgers. There was a exhibit between Seoul and Berlin, photography at Ha House, which was all right. I thought it was going to be a bit bigger, but it was quite small. It was like more merch heavy, so that was all right. And then, oh yes, Jacob, whose last name escapes me, but I wanted to pick up his book as well because he just put out a book. Who I've been following since my sort of hype beast days when I was living in San Francisco. He was one of those first like male Instagram influencers, sort of from the same era as Brittany Bathgate and all, but male. And there wasn't really a male presence or idol within that space yet in terms of like Instagram fashion. Yeah, he had this little cute exhibition for his new book that just came out in the post-poetic space, and that was cute. That was cute. There were no more books. So what he did with the last book that he had was tear out the pages and then taped them up on the wall, and he let people take a page, and he was happy enough to sign a page. So I took this one, signed it for me, but I just thought it was wonderful. Focuses on childhood and sort of his roots as an artist, family archive, all of that. And yeah, just very nice. And then, yeah, I was just zonked. I was pooped. I didn't do a whole lot of reading, but we finished some books, and I'm gonna talk about them. Finally, this is what you're here for. This is a booktube, right? It's a booktube. First things first, on the real list, this. How to Write an Autobiographical Novel by Alexander Chee. I've been wanting to read this for so long. I think when it first hit bookshelves in 2014, I was like, that's a sexy guy, and I have to pick up this book. Also, the cover is just like this gorgeous red, you know, it's quite striking. And it's all, there's another edition in like a cerulean blue green. It was like a blue-green color, and I also wanted that as well, but I decided to get this, and I don't know, a part of me hates that I didn't pick this up sooner. There was a part of me where I was like, I finished my undergrad, and then I was like, do I go into my MFA, study creative writing, like pursue, by the time that I need? Because anyway, one of my old poetry professors was like, you know, you could do a lot. You could do a lot with your poetry, and you're better than Ocean Vuong. That was the tea, and I was just like, I am not better than Ocean. He's miles, his brain waves and powers are miles beyond my own, and I don't think I could ever be him. Not that I wanted to, but that was just like a really cool time for me, interesting moment in my life, because he was like one of the first queer Viet voices that I was just like, my people are making it. And then that was Night Sky with Exit Wounds, and then after On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, I was just like, I love you, Ocean. Anyway, where am I going with this? Oh yes, my poetry professor was like, once you graduate, do you make that choice? Do you go and do your MFA? Wait, what is this? I'm not even talking about the book at this point, but real quickly, I thought about it and I didn't do it. I didn't do an MFA. Part of me still thinks I should, but with the student debt that I have, that's not happening. And I'm just like, I'm getting at that age where I don't think I can. I don't know, education is forever though, they say. That's why we read. But this 5 stars. Looks at Chee's life, his writing life, his life in San Francisco, New York, as a waiter caterer, as a working writer, in his moment at Iowa, workshops, in the classrooms, everything. It's little windows into sort of the moments that have shaped him into a writer. And I think this is best for anyone who wants to be a writer, anyone who wants to know how to write in the form of memoir, grasping hard facts and turning them into narrative. This is also a book for anyone who's written something, absolutely hated it, and feels like giving up. And I recommend you pick this up if you feel like you're giving up. He had Annie Dillard as a teacher. He talks about his MFA experience with Annie Dillard, and they're just a bunch of very good writing notes, as well as an essay dedicated to just like a list of 100 things in order to learn how to like write an autobiographical novel. A lot of it is also about queer life in New York in sort of the late 80s, early 90s, moving into the 2000s, and what life was like for Chee, and what to do with queer identity, how he grappled with it, and also his experience as an Asian American, but also someone who is, you know, part Caucasian, part Korean, and that identity. And yeah, it's not the full picture, but it's these really intimate windows that look into his life. And he's so generous with his experience that it almost feels like a friend telling me all the best and worst parts of them, but these are the parts that like make them who they are. And as I was reading this and finishing it on the train ride home, I started to cry. I cried because just like the notes on writing in here and being a writer, it's not like I can't consider myself a serious writer. And there's still so much shame when I say that, like, I'm a writer. Like, that's not something I tell people, you know what I mean? It's weird. I just can't admit it to myself that I call myself that. I just can't admit that I could ever be that. And I'm not, because I don't do it full time and I hardly ever do it. But when I do it, also, it's not like it's the best thing in the world. And it's always something like, I don't know, who wants to interview me on the pod? You wanna go to podcast? Wanna interview me? Wanna buy my books? Wanna have a book talk? Anyway, I don't know, it's weird. I don't think I could ever write full-time, because I feel like if I ever made it like a full-time thing, some magic to it would be lost. It always has to be in this sort of gray zone, in this liminality, in a space that it's my third place. It's where, you know how some people need like a badminton club or like a book club or something else? Writing for me is my third church, you know? Writing for me is my third place. It's where I create the community within all the voices that exist in this insane mind. And yeah, I'm just literally a crazy person. It's an incredible read. If you want to become a writer, definitely reread it if you feel like you're failing at doing just that, becoming a writer, and has some very good notes on writing and reading. And yeah, in a way, it almost feels like a master's class in creative writing. It feels like a classroom, a very intimate classroom, this book. Part of me misses that classroom and being able to write and talk about those things, and it just felt really good to be back in the classroom with this. And yeah, I think this is gonna be part of the top 10. Such a good backlist that I've been meaning to read, and finally having read it, yeah, it's reawakened something in me, I think. In the way I view writing and writing for myself, there's less shame. I think now I have less shame when I say that, like, I'm a writer. And I have to read this last portion of the book for you because it's just absolutely gorgeous. My job is to make something happen in a space barely larger than the span of your hand behind your eyes, distilled out of all that I have carried from friends, teachers, people met on planes, people I have only seen in my mind, all my mothers and fathers ever did, every favorite book until it meets and distills from you, the reader, something out of everything it finds in you. All of this meets along the edge of a sentence like this one, as if the sentence is a fence, with you on one side and me on the other. When the writing works best, I feel like I could poke one of these words out of place and find the writer's eye there, looking through to me. Then I carried a tiny bag the next day, Sunday, and I did Cherry Wagon by Joseph Matick, and this is a funky little one. Epistolary. Epistolary is a new word I learned, given that I'm reading another book, which is also epistolary. Hajin, if you're watching this, hi, I love you. Yeah, we're doing a buddy read of another book. I'll get to that. But Cherry Wagon is a collection of letters written to this woman named, which is so crazy because this other book has like the same name, but it's about this girl named Red and Jack, and he just writes these letters to this girl named Red, and he's in love with her, and it's written in these short, tiny spurts, which are letters and then conversations, and then it actually becomes like narrative, and it's kind of sappy. There really isn't much else to say, but it's just Jack loving this woman named Red, and Yeah, there are a few other women in here too as well. But yeah, it's this tiny thing of little letters. And there are some gorgeous bits in it. But Jack is definitely, reminds me of that one guy with the acoustic guitar at a party and everything's winding down and he wants to play a song. And you're like, ugh, really? He's gonna do this? But then he plays like something by the Strokes and you're like, you're jiving and it's fine. It's fine. And you love Jack, even though you know he's kind of a loser, but you still love him because he's there. He sort of exists in your memory the same way that, like, you know how in high school you saw people every single day, and when you leave high school you kind of miss them, not because like you had a strong relationship with any of them, but like they were just in your daily life in proximity, and that's why you miss them. That's Jack. That's it. That's pretty much it. But very interesting in terms of form, where it does have like these narrative structures and almost has this like prose aspect to it as well, and then the letters, and it makes for a very swift, pithy read. Yes, 2 words I'm using today: sappy and pithy, and epistolary. Yes, which brings me to This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal, El-Mohtar, and Max Gladstone. Hajin told me about this because there was like this Twitter thread on it and it kind of blew up. It was trending on Twitter and I was like, why not? Why not? I was reading nonfiction, so I was just like, why not pick up a fiction book? But this is an impossible book to talk about, and I think I'll just save my thoughts, but also quite sappy, pithy, and epistolary. Girl in here named Red. The girl in here is named Red too, so it felt so weird, and how these books were like connected. So weird. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was a very, very cool experience. It was that like weird moment where it was like, oh wait, am I reading the same book? Are these different books? Are the books speaking to each other? What is this secret conversation that they're having between each other? But this is sort of like this, except shorter. And it's about Red and Blue, who send each other letters across space and time. And it's really cool. They can like time travel and they enter like different moments in history, and none of it really matters because all of the meat is in the letters and it's just about them loving each other. And I'll leave it at that right now because I think my thoughts will be the same once I finish this book. 70% of the way through, and then I have some ARCs to get through, and then I'll do Chelsea Girls with Sophie from Bibliosophie and Ben from Benjamin Journal. My hotties, my hotties. Okay, that's 26 minutes. Guess what? The book depository books are coming through my second order. Because my first order was like, no. And then I was like, okay, like I have realized I relied a lot on book depository and I need to use up all of that reliance. So we picked up more books and I think more are coming through. But let's take a peek, shall we? A little book unboxing. Let's go. Oh, yes. There was a podcast between Hunter Schafer and I believe it's Lord that they spoke with. But Hunter Schafer recommended this book and I was like, that is such a great title. I'm gonna read it. But it's called The Faggots and Their Friends Between Revolutions by Larry Mitchell. 1977, the faggots, the women, the fairies, and the queens have each other for love, sex, and inspiration. They have the natural world, music, the body, feelings, crannies of cities in which to be, believe, touch, dance, dream, fuck, and grow. It's a liberation vision of Larry Mitchell from another time, another consciousness. We can remember the collectivity of fun and pleasure and the necessary faith of silly hope as part of our legacy and wish for survival. Interesting, yes. And I believe there's illustrations in here as well. That's all I'm gonna say because I kind of want this just to be like a little treat of a surprise for myself. but the faggots and their friends. Between Revolutions. Larry Mitchell. Can't wait, can't wait. And love Hunter Schafer for their work on Euphoria and just like overall aesthetic and model. And also, if anyone didn't know, they were also involved in a few collabs with Rookie Mag, which I had no idea about, but that's cool. We got another book. Let's look. Oh yes! Yes, yes, yes! I've been waiting for this one. Hit Parade of Tears. Collection of short stories by Izumi Suzuki. Yes, this is weird Japanese fiction by a woman. Yes, she has ideas about doing things differently, ideas that pay little attention to the laws of physics or the laws of land. Her skewed imagination distorts and enhances some of the classic concepts of science fiction and fantasy. You know what? I've read quite a few science fiction books this year. Not really, given it's just like 3 or just 2, and this will be the 3rd. But some stories include a philandering husband receiving a bestial punishment from a wife with her own secrets to keep. Music lover finds herself in a timeline both familiar and as wrong as can be. A misfit band of space pirates discover a mysterious baby among the stars. Emma, the Bovary-like character from one of Suzuki's stories in Terminal Boredom. And I was gonna pick up Terminal Boredom, but I just loved the cover of this one so much. It's just stunning. Y'all, that's her. Yeah, but catch me reading this in summer. So sexy. Got some very little weird books, and I can't wait to jump into them. And that's a wrap, y'all. That's a wrap. Y'all wanna see this rice cake I got from work? That's like intense. That's a rice cake, y'all. Let me know what you're reading for summer. Summer is approaching. It was so hot today. It was like 78 degrees. It's like literally California now. And yeah, too soon, too soon. It's only May. Like, summer, calm down, calm down. It's okay. Why the head start? Hi, in the park, but starting Otessa Moshfegh's Homesick for Another World. Reading this as a buddy read with my homegirl Carissa. I love you. But yes, let's go. Been meaning to read this for a while. Let's do it. Hi, hello. Here with some minor book updates. I think I'll talk about this first. So, I decided to start Homesickness for Another World by Otessa Moshfegh. Finally doing this. I remember I first got like a Libby hold on this and then just didn't read it. It didn't feel right. I kind of wanted like a physical copy, and I just love this cover so much. To be honest, I think all of Otessa Moshfegh's book covers have been spot on. Like, they're all sexy in their own different right, and it's great. It's incredible. I read the first story. It's called Bettering Myself, and feels like the very seed of my year of rest and relaxation, how our main protagonist sort of goes on these little trips, little things that disillusions herself in bettering herself, and how it explores the little silly ways we undergo in order to convince ourselves that we have become better, when really we're just all the same. We've got Diet Coke, we've got learning Spanish, we've got an awful ex-boyfriend, and yeah, just all the usual Moshfeghian details. And it's fun. It's the usual Moshfegh, and it's nice to be reading her short stories in this collected format. But yeah, just finished the first story, and it was fine. It's what you'd expect from Moshfegh. Yeah. I'm also reading Close to Home by Magee, and I'm about at the 40% mark. Our narrator, who's this like little puppy boy, and he just gets mixed up in the wrong crowds, and you just want to like put your arm around him and say, hey, everything's all right. Don't hang out with these wild boys anymore, you know? Like, and the boy's a literature major, okay? And you'd expect him to be reading, but he's not. He's just getting into all these antics, and you just can't help but feel bad for him. Very much a little underdog he is, but he gets into a life-altering moment, and he's dealing with a lot of shit. Yeah, I feel for him. At first I was just like, this is kind of whatever, but as you get used to all of the characters and him especially, you're like, oh, you want to protect him. And that's where we're at with reading. We've got a little unboxing. We got a little package today. Not book content. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but let me tell you. So I first saw this on a site, and I was like, I need that. I need that. So I waited for it to go on sale, but once it did, oh, what is it called? I think it's called like H. Lorenzo or something in LA. It's a little cute boutique that does like avant-garde clothing. It's a lot of fun, and there's just like an edge to their curation. They curate a lot of different like edgy brands, like Seo, which is one of my favorite Korean brands. The designer studied in Antwerp, and it's just fun. It's a lot of fun. I don't wear it as much because I'm not that edgy anymore. I'm an old fart now. Yes, where am I going with this? I saw it at the boutique, and I was going to get it, and I didn't because it sold out. And then I saw it again at Kormokoso in Seoul, and it was just more expensive than even like the sale price at H. Lorenzo. I was just like, oh God, I'm never gonna get this bag. And then I go in another day and it's gone. It's gone. And it has been gone for almost, let me tell you, a decade. I've been looking for this bag for a decade. And I've said this before about my Jacques Muscotte, which I love and I still cherish. And you know, it's sitting in my closet, but I think about it every single day. It's just one of those forever pieces, you know? It's one of those pieces that means so much to me. Anyway, this bag I've been looking for almost a decade is finally in my possession at an incredibly reasonable price. When I saw the price, I was like, I gasped. I was like, that's going in the cart immediately, and I'm buying it then, there, now. And it was kind of crazy. Can I show you now? I'm gonna do unboxing. Here we go. All that blabbering for what? I'm sorry, this is just super exciting. And you're gonna think I'm fucking stupid. Oh God, okay. Well, this is kind of embarrassing because this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Yes, this is a bag. But let me clarify, it is a clutch bag. And you know what? I don't do clutches. I don't do clutches. There was a time when I did, because when I was in like my peak Korean fashion influenced, I was like, I'm gonna wear a clutch. And I brought it back to America, and you know, I served. Let me tell you, I served. I really did. I really did. A few people were like, oh, what is that? That's a bag? Oh my gosh. And they were like cool clutches. They weren't like gross rectangular square ones that, you know, all the gross Gangnam boys wear. With, you know, their ankleless socks and, you know, strung up chinos. That's disgusting. But this is a lot of fun. It's a clutch. Here's the opening. And there you go. There you have it. We got a little pocket there, lined with cotton on the inside, but the exterior is a PVC wrapped dress shirt. Yes, I've been looking for this for a decade, okay? Don't at me, okay? You know, it's so camp. It's so camp. It's great. The brand is Doublé. They are a Japanese brand, and I would describe them as the budget Balenciaga that do a lot more edgier things, given that they are more colorful and at a lower price point. So yes, the budget Balenciaga without any of the controversies. So, and they just do kitschy shit like this. The condition is fine, in my opinion. This retailed for about $600. At H. Lorenzo, I think it was like 50% off, so it was like about 300 bucks. And then when I tried to get it at Kormakoso, it was like 500,000 Korean won, 550 or something like that. And I was just like, I am not paying that much for this. And let me tell you, 60 bucks. 60 bucks for this. And, you know, I could probably DIY this, but it's in my possession. I have it. It's here. It's queer. It's just a lot of fun, let me tell you. But, God, I'm gonna look like a fucking fool. I'm gonna wear this out. I don't fucking care. This is a lot of fun, and you can't stop me. You can't stop me. But shall we? Shall we put a book in? Look at that. It carries everything that you need in a very nice, clutchy kind of way. You know, without being something boring, like leather or something. You know, leather's fine, but like, that's fun. That's a lot of fun. And just like the overall construction is pretty fabulous. I'm a nutcase. Okay. On that note, be well. Do good work, keep in touch. Hi, hello. It is 3 p.m. on a Saturday, and to be honest, I just didn't feel like spending money. Even though I'm gonna go spend money tomorrow. Today, I just didn't feel like it. And it's 3 p.m., and I have stepped out of the house. So I want to do that. I want to step out of the house. So I'm gonna go to a park and do some reading. Can I show you? We're doing, oh, if anyone must know, Charles. If you aren't watching Charles, you should. My blurry sausage finger. Watch Charles. He's hilarious. He's got exquisite taste in books. He pretty much reads everything, and that's why I love him. Because we need to read everything. Just read everything. We are doing Chelsea Girls, Eileen Myles, with the lovely Bibliosophie and Ben from Benjamin Journal. Little Three Musketeers on this one. Bag of the day is this little NA gallery bag. It's a cute little tote. Carries literally nothing. Pretty much the book. We got the recto short sleeve sweater, some blue jeans, and my lovely cold brew for today. Yes, bringing that to the park. And oh, channeling, so I read this book today with this lovely Renee scarf. A little bit of Renee on my outfit today. Okay, this is a super long intro. Let's go.